Hi, thank you for joining Career Transitioners webinar. I hope you make yourselves comfortable. Now let's get right into it. My aim for this session is to get you to get to know us a little bit better. We're going to talk about a few things. One of the things we're going to talk about is how you can leverage some of the information out there at the moment to help you make great career choices in 2016. We'll start off by talking about the job market in the UK. We'll talk about some of the challenges facing mid-career professionals. We'll talk about skills gaps and bridging those skills gaps. I'll share some stats with you, and I'll talk about job searching in 2016. We'll inevitably look at the CV, we'll look at your online presence, and we'll talk a little bit about the job market, the hidden job market in London specifically, but generally we can look at the UK as a whole. We'll also talk about the interview and how you can supercharge your confidence to help you ace any interview you find yourselves in. And then, if you stay with me to the end, I'll talk about how we can get you some bonuses for attending, for listening into this session. And if you can indulge me, I'll also talk about how you can get on board the Career Transitioners Coaching Program. So, career success in 2016. What does this mean to you? Are you looking to get a new job? Are you looking to get a promotion? How do you choose to make that move during 2016? We'll talk about a few things. The first thing I want to ask you right now is, what are your career goals for 2016? I'd like you to post this video right now, take a pen and pad, write down what your career goals are for 2016. Once you're done, I'd also like to ask you how you intend to achieve your career goals for 2016. So state specifically what you intend to do to help you achieve your career goals for 2016. Again, post this video, take a few minutes to write down how you intend to achieve your career goals for 2016. Well, firstly, let's talk about who we are. We're career transitioners, and we're a community of like-minded mid-career professionals passionate about bridging the skills gaps and developing their career. We generally have an age range, just as a rule of thumb, age range of 25 to 45-year-olds, people who are halfway through their careers. We're not targeting people who are fresh out of university or in their first job, looking for the first job. We're talking to people who are experienced professionals and currently looking to either get promoted, get a new job, or change careers. If you are in one of these categories, then you certainly are a career transitioner. A couple of testimonials just to give you an idea of what we do and how we work with people. This is CJ, who came to us a few months ago, and here's his testimonial. He said, I was looking for my ideal career for almost 2 years, and after I started working with career transitioners, I got the job I wanted in less than 2 months. The coaching really helped me focus on my personal values, and I got all the support I needed to get the job. When we met CJ was in that transition phase, and he was looking for his ideal role. We were able to work with him to ensure that he was able to make the right move at the right time. Well, we also have a testimonial from Dupe, who was able to get 3 job offers in a very short space of time of working with us. Dupe said, I had a very pleasant experience being handheld by career transitioners. Tolu especially was very patient, helpful, and had a wealth of knowledge and experience that helped me get 3 offers for 3 jobs that I really wanted. And my only challenge was choosing the role to accept. And this certainly is just a couple of testimonials from our clients. We have a few more on our website, and we have a few more scattered all over the internet that we can always share with you as time goes on. Just to give you a little bit about myself, my name is Tolu, and I'm the lead coach at Career Transitioners. I'm a loving husband, father, I'm a trainer, and I'm a coach. Uh, you might ask, what qualifies me to talk to you about your career progression or your career success in 2016? Well, just a couple of highlights of my career today. Just a couple of highlights. Uh, I have an MSc in organizational psychology. I've got a master's MA in communications management. I'm a trainer of business analysis diploma courses, certification courses from the British Computer Society. I'm a trainer of Scrum certification. I'm also a trainer of Lean process improvement certification. A number of soft skills courses. I also train. I'm Prince 2 practitioner certified a project management methodology. Also NLP practitioner, NLP master practitioner, certified coach, and many more. I give you all these accolades not to impress you, but just to give you a sense of who I am and my wealth of experience to date. My story so far is one that you might have heard before. Nothing specifically unique, but one of the key turning points in my career was when I decided to be a trainer and a coach about 15 years ago. I got brave and scared at the same time. I got brave because after I learned all I needed to learn about e-learning and technology, I decided to get on board a plane to a country called Nigeria to help some banks implement some learning management systems. When I got to Nigeria to help these banks implement their learning management systems, it was exciting. It was great. I was able to do a lot of great work and to stretch myself in many ways that I never imagined. And then I came back to London, and it was a very shocking experience that I had. By the time I came back, the recession had hit. And during this time, there were quite a few jobs. The job market was starting to pick up. However, what I found was there was not much support for people like me. I wonder if you've ever felt that way before. I'll go to the job center and I'll find that some of the associates there would ask me to go for entry level jobs and call center roles. And I really felt that this was not in any way helping, and there was no way at the time I was going to take an entry level job or a call center job. And it really got me thinking, what sort of initiatives or sort of support was there for people like me who had a lot of experience in their role and who was looking to get back into the workforce after a break. So I was lucky. I was able to find a lady who really believed in me and who was able to give me a shot and get me back into my career. And from that point on, I just kept developing my career to the point where I am at today. I was able to get back into training and into coaching, and it's been it was a very critical point in my career, and that was the point I decided that I was going to help mid-career professionals develop their careers, because there doesn't seem to be much support out there for people like us, people halfway through their careers looking to progress, looking to make a change. So, what's the job market in the UK right now? You might ask yourself, are there jobs or not? Well, here's my view. Statistically, in 2015, according to the National Careers Service, 12,350 jobs went unfilled in London alone due to a skills shortage. Quite interesting stats. In 2015, according to the London Chamber of Commerce, 58% of recruiting firms had difficulties hiring skilled manual or technical staff due to a skills shortage. Can you start to see the theme here? In 2014, within England, vacancies were back to pre-recession levels. Employers reported a total of 559,600 job vacancies, which was a rise of 45% from 2009. Well, What we do know based on these stats are jobs are available. The question is, where are they? According to the BBC in 2014 December, skills shortages were holding back the UK's economic recovery. Another headline: Britain was hit by the worst skills shortage for 30 years. Now, the theme here seems to be a skills shortage. Well, what are skills? Well, a skill is a learned ability to carry out a task with predetermined results, often within a given amount of time, energy, or both. In other words, the ability that one possesses to do something well. Now, the problem that I find is it's really difficult to articulate what skills really are. We do know that skills are not your bachelor's degrees or your master's degrees or anything you learned in class. Skills certainly aren't very easy to measure. They're certainly not explicit. They tend to be tacit. They tend to be things you can't really put your hands on. But a hiring manager will know whether you've got the skills for the role they're hiring for or not. But the question is, how do they communicate that to you? And how do you know what skills you need to brush up on and which ones you have already? So, how do we bridge the skills gaps? Well, you've got the Careers Advice Service, many of which are focused on 18 to 24-year-olds who are fresh out of school and who are looking for their first job. Some of the biggest career services are aimed specifically at this group. There is an apprentice scheme by the government that looks at how young people can get the skills they need to get the job they want. No one is looking at mid-career professionals. You can get some training and developments. Some of the challenges we find is to know which training course to actually go for. I mean, as you know, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a trainer and I deliver a number of training courses, both certified and uncertified or unaccredited. Most of the people that I find in my classes every day really either stumbled upon the course or decided just because someone told them it was the best thing to do. Not much planning when it comes to choosing the right course at the right time. So training and development is definitely one way to go. For us as mid-career professionals though, how do we know what to do next? What facilities and initiatives are there to help us make that next move? Well, we know that we have a number of challenges, and doing some research last year after surveying a cross section of mid-career professionals across the country and gathering data and analyzing the data, I found that there were three key challenges that affect mid-career professionals during their transition. Firstly, lack of time. Lack of time to be able to take a training course, to be able to make a career plan, to be able to stick with a plan to help make that move. Secondly, lack of money. Well, as a mid-career professional, you probably have a mortgage, you probably have a dependent, you probably have many things that you're using money for. So investing in career development is probably not the first thing on your mind. So lack of money, lack of funds seems to be one of the biggest challenges when it comes to an effective career transition. And thirdly, and for me, most surprising was the lack of confidence cited by many mid-career professionals as a reason for not successfully transitioning their careers. And this seemed to be a recurring theme every time I spoke to a mid-career professional. And some of the reasons I hear is that no one wants to give them a chance. They feel they don't have the skills. They feel they don't have the experience. They feel their skills are outdated. They feel they don't have enough transferable skills. And it seems to be almost an irrational fear of failure when it comes to making that move. So those three challenges seems to be one up top on the top of the list. Well, we work with a lot of mid-career professionals, so we're able to understand exactly how you feel. Now, how do we bridge the skills gap? Putting into consideration the top three challenges that mid-career professionals face: lack of money, lack of time, lack of confidence. Well, there are a number of interventions you can go for. Firstly, I mentioned earlier, training. You can have accredited training, non-accredited training to start to build that confidence back. Secondly, one-on-one coaching. For me, one of the most powerful interventions to help you make that shift. Relatively inexpensive, usually works within your time schedule and helps make that shift. Another option is a group coaching program. If you are in the midst of like-minded people, you're more likely to make that change and to take action that you set for yourself. Mentoring is another powerful intervention that I always recommend. Shadowing somebody who's already doing something you want to do. Networking and meeting people who could help you make that career move. Amongst many other interventions that can help you bridge that skills gap. So, what's the next step? Well, the first thing you want to do is identify the new job. Identify the job that you want to go for. What's the new job itself? What's the job title? Which career is it in? What's the role? Write that down, make it clear, make it bold. Secondly, how much does it pay? Well, you're a mid-career professional if you've got this far, right? It means you can't afford to take a massive pay cut. So you've got to be clear and realistic about how much the job pays. 3, which industry is it in? Is it an industry that you are passionate about? Is it an industry that you feel has some potential for growth? Which industry is it in? 4, which city is it located? Well, I'm sure back in the day you would have been happy to relocate for a job. But now it might be a little bit more difficult to uproot your whole family for a new role. So you've got to be clear. You've got to be limiting your searches to a city that you're happy to be in. So which city is your job located? And 5, why do you want this job? What are the real reasons you want this job? Is it for the money? Is it for the growth? Is it for the drive? Is it a passion? What is it that makes you want this job? And finally, is this job in line with your personal values? Now, that's one of the most important questions that you've got to ask yourself, especially if you're looking for a career change. Is it in line with your personal values? Now, I'm not going to say follow your dreams, drop everything and go mountain climbing in Nepal that's, if that's your dream, great. But as a mid-career professional, you probably have responsibilities. You probably have other factors to consider. So be clear about what your personal values are and how your new role fits into your personal values. The next thing you want to do is identify the skills for that new job. So you've identified the attributes of that job. You know how much it pays, you know where it is, you know why you want it, you know what drives you, and you know that it's in line with your personal values. Now you want to find out what skills are required for that job. You want to know what the technical skills are that are required for that job. And you want to know what the soft skills are that are required for that job. In my experience and based on research that I've seen in a number of places, about 20% of the skills required are only technical. Only about 20% of the skills required for most jobs are technical skills. The rest of the 80% are usually soft skills. usually your assertiveness skills, your negotiation skills, your persuasion skills, your communication skills, your teamworking skills. Those are the kind of skills that really help you excel within the new job. So ask yourself, what are the soft skills required for that job? And then you've got to make a real good self assessment from this point on. The first thing you want to do is identify your personality. Know what people see of you. Know what type of personality you possess, what preferences you have, and have a good idea of what a hiring manager will see if they decide to hire based on a personality test. We have a number of psychometric tests you can take to help you really identify what these are. You also want to have a good understanding of what your cognitive ability is. There is no point going for a technically oriented job if you're not a technically oriented person. So you want to know what your cognitive ability is. You also want to know what your emotional intelligence is like, so you can make some real good self-assessments with regards to the new role you want to go for. And then you want to consider your transferable job skills. What skills do you have, or have you acquired over the years that you can carry on to the next job? And you want to identify your direct work experience. If you are making a career change altogether, then this might be a little bit more difficult than if you're just moving on to the next job in the same field or in the same career. Either way, you want to identify the key skills that you can leverage in your new role. And as a mid-career professional, you know you've got quite a number of them. Now, let's talk about Bridging the Gap plan. This is a career transition as adapted coach model, courtesy of John Custer Rice of NLP Excellence. So, the first thing we talk about during your coaching session is your goal. We want to be clear about what you want to achieve. We want to be very specific with your short-term goals, with your mid-term goals, and sometimes with your long-term goals. We want to know the purpose of your goal at this stage so that we can get alignment between what you do and who you are. We want to make sure you've got congruence between yourself, your core self, as well as your career choice. So we want to gain some clarity of your goal. Once we get clarity, we can start to build on that by identifying a number of options for change. We need to brainstorm some ideas. We'll brainstorm some ideas. We'll use techniques like the fishbone diagramming technique to ensure that we identify as many options as possible for change to help you achieve that goal. It might be a number of courses you want to take. It might be getting a coach. It might be shadowing. It might be mentoring. It could be a number of options that you can come up with to help you achieve that goal. Options could include training, taking a professional certification course, or an unaccredited training, taking a classroom course, or an online training course. And there are quite a number of options for taking courses. There are lots of free ways to learn online now. We know as a mid-career professional, money is one of the challenges that you face. So you really don't want to be spending a lot of money on training courses. Certainly don't want to be spending a lot of money on training courses that may not be the right one for you right now. So you want to be ensuring that you are making the right choices. So some of the ways to learn online at the moment, some of my favorite sites to get free training is Allison.com. You've got Udemy that have a number of free courses, a number of really affordable courses as well. Sometimes they have £8 deal where most of the courses are £8 and you can get a lot of good stuff on that. There's futurelearn.com, there's learnnowonline.com, there's learnonline.com, there's MIT where you can get a number of training courses from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Some of these courses are actually courses that are taught by the university in previous in previous years, and you can actually get the full lecture recording, lecture material, and course notes without having to pay a dime. There's Khan Academy where you can get some real good courses on how to network, how to build a business, etc. There's Coursera.com, and there are many more free alternative ways to learn online today. We're in the age of big data, age of complexity, age of great change in terms of technological advancements. There's almost nothing you can't find online. So certainly training is one thing you can find online. Now, one of the challenges you might face as a mid-career professional is the time to actually take these courses. But during our coaching program, what we are able to do is help you design your lifestyle so you can accommodate some of the new changes that you're going to be making. Then the next step is action. After you've identified a number of options, now we want to choose some clear, specific, measurable, achievable, very importantly, budgeted and time-bound actions that are critical to your career transition. So you would have identified a number of options. You might have identified a number of courses you want to take, a number of programs you want to take, a number of interventions you want to go for. Now you want to set some clear actions in a budgeted, time-bound way. Well, we know that money is one of the challenges. We know that time is one of the challenges. So we want to set actions that would accommodate and overcome some of those challenges and help you get the right action, help you achieve the goal that you want. And then we'll look at the things that could possibly stop you. During the Career Transitioners coaching, we'll help you deep dive into this concept to start to look at some of the things that might have stopped you in the past, or some of the things that could potentially stop you. It might be a personality trait or a character trait, or it might be a structure in your current situation that can potentially stop you from taking action. We'll try to see how we can uncover those obstacles and get you taking action as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible. So we deal with the character issues that will be a hindrance to taking action. And then we'll look at how we can help and support you through this transition. What are some of the things that you will need to help you take that action? So we'll talk about all the help and support you may need. So that's the coaching model that we'll go through to help you ensure you achieve your career goal. Now let's talk about job searching in 2016. Inevitably, we have to talk about the CV. So the first thing I noticed is a lot of CVs that I see these days are what we call performance CVs. These are the kind of CVs that are really good when you're trying to get another job in the same field. So you've got some experience. For example, you might be a project manager. You've been a project manager for the past 5 years, and you're trying to get another job as a project manager. Great. A performance CV is perfect for that. It highlights your experience and it highlights your key achievements. Perfect. However, there's an alternative CV, which is really good for people who are trying to change careers. So we call this the functional CV, which highlights not your experience, not your achievements, but your skills. So let's look at some of the key differences here. So here's an example of a performance CV, useful when you're looking for a new job. You've got your profile, you've got your key achievements, you've got your experience. Nice and neat, nice and chronological, great for a nice summary of your experience to date. Now let's look at a functional CV. This is the kind of CV that's useful when looking for a new career. Now, the performance CV will be not very useful for somebody looking for a new career, because what experiences have you got to leverage on? You're not likely to be able to compete with people with a great deal of experience in that area. But we can still work with people who are looking for a new career without much experience in a previous field. But what we know you do have are a number of skills that you can transfer. So the highlights of the functional CV is the idea of focusing on skills. You want to focus on your key skills, the skills that you know are critical to the job that you want to go for. And then after you've itemized your skills, you can very briefly identify or highlight some of your experiences without much detail with regards to what you did, but just a highlight of where you worked and what role you undertook. And then you can put up your training courses and your qualifications and additional information after that. Those are the two types of CVs that are generally quite powerful for people, mid-career professionals, either looking to change careers or looking for a new job or a promotion. And during our career transitioners training coaching program, we look at your CV and help you ensure you get the right CV out there that really tells your story. So let's talk about online presence. We know today that 85% of hiring managers use social media to vet candidates before making a job offer. How does that help you or hurt you? We know that 35% of employers are less likely to hire people they can't find online. The question I want to ask you is, how does your online presence help your career transition? Are you online? Are you using LinkedIn wisely? Are you using Facebook wisely? Are you using Twitter wisely? Well, your job search strategies should help you identify ways you can leverage your online presence. The traditional ways for looking for jobs are not enough. If you're still applying for jobs online, Monster, Reed, CV Library, then I think you need to start looking at an alternative way to search for jobs. There are better, newer, much more effective ways to look for jobs today. Using LinkedIn is powerful. There are lots of ways we can optimize the use of LinkedIn for you to enhance your job search without having to pay premium rates for LinkedIn. Networking, online and offline, applying directly to organizations, becoming an expert in your field, writing articles, blogging, publishing them on LinkedIn, doing some interviews, publishing them or transcribing them and publishing them on LinkedIn are all ways you can enhance your career, your job search strategy. You don't want to be looking for a job anymore. You want to be looking to solve a business problem. The world has changed now. Organizations are looking for people who can solve a business problem for them. Would help you create a unique job search that would help you ensure that you're optimizing your plan. You're getting as many searches, as many applications through as possible that would help you get callbacks from hiring organizations when you implement this job search strategy. Now let's talk about the hidden job market. It might be a term that you're familiar with or you've heard every now and then. One of the stats that I found was 80% of jobs are not advertised. In fact, organizations tend to hire in almost the opposite way employees tend to look for jobs. There's some suggestion that job boards yield an average of 1% response rate, which means to me that 99% of the time the job that you're going for either doesn't exist or is already gone. So when you apply for a job online, you've got a 1% chance of getting a response. So let's look at how employers hire at the moment. They generally start from hiring from within. They start from promoting internally, and then they look at contact from existing staff. They get people to refer their friends, refer people, and they hire them that way. And then they start to go out to network and use word of mouth to get the right people in before they go to professional organizations, before they go to the recruitment agencies, who then post the jobs online. Unfortunately, most people look for jobs in the opposite direction. They tend to start by posting their CVs online, then go to recruitment agencies, then go to professional organizations before networking, before contacting existing staff in the organizations they want to work for, before looking at getting promoted from within. Now, this is a very interesting trend and one that we can help you ensure that you're looking for jobs in the best and most efficient way. It can help you tap into the hidden job market in your industry. Okay, the interview. The interview is one of the most critical aspects of a career change or a career transition. If you if you get to the point where you actually sit in front of a hiring manager, then you've done pretty well. Now, what you want to do is ensure you get a good conversion rate to the point where you get hired or offered a good amount of jobs for per interview you go for. For example, you want to be going for 3, 4 interviews and getting at least one job offer. So by the time you go for 10 interviews, you want to be getting 2 or 3 job offers. And this is, in my opinion, a pretty good conversion rate. We want to help you get to that stage. So we'll talk about preparing for the interview, how you identify the right interview approach, how you should ensure that you're researching the company effectively, how you research hiring manager on LinkedIn and other social media, how you practice interview questions using the very popular STAR technique, how you practice competency-based interview questions. These and more are some of the things that we are able to help you with. And of course, how you can build your confidence so that you can take charge of your interview, build rapport, and be friendly. The fact is, people hire people they like. So, how do we ensure we get the right body language, attitude, and confidence to ensure that we are making a great impression at interviews? I hope you've been with me and you've enjoyed the session so far. So I'm going to start to wrap up by talking about some research that was done in Birkbeck College, University of London, about a year ago. I call this the 7 habits of highly successful transitioners. First habits: plan your career transition. Well, as a mid-career professional, one of the things you want to do is ensure that you have a good, clear plan of how you can make an effective, successful career transition. You want to plan before you take that first course, before you apply for that first role, before you go for that first interview. You want to have a good, solid plan so that you can measure and calibrate and ensure you know how far or close you are from achieving your career goal. Secondly, you want to consider your family commitment and current situation. I think that goes without saying. You want to ensure that before you make that career transition, you consider your family commitments and your situation right now. Do you have a mortgage? Do you have a young kid? Do you have Do you have a partner who might need you around? That might affect where you take a job. So you have to consider your family commitments and current situation. Thirdly, you want to consider your passion, skills, and personality. You want to consider what you like, being able to take a personality test, being able to have a good self assessment will help you consider your passion, skills, and personality. Number four, leverage your social capital and work collaboratively with like minded people. You want to be able to look at your network right now and look around you, look to see who are the people that can enable you during your career transition, and work collaboratively with people who are in the same situation as you, who have a similar mindset to you. Fifth, you've got to brand yourself as an expert in your own career. So you know yourself best. You know the skills that you have, and you know what you can offer an organization. You have to be an expert in your own career. Once you're an expert in your own career, you can begin to be an expert in your field. If you're an expert in your field, you will be uh, one of the people that will be called upon if there's a requirement for your skills. So you want to brand yourself as an expert in your own career. Number six, if you change the way you look at your career, the way your career looks will change. Do you look at your career as a chore? Do you look at your career as just a job? Or do you look at your career as a purpose? The way you look at your career would affect your career. So you have to change the way you look at your career if it's negative to ensure that you're looking at your career in a positive light, and the way your career looks will suddenly change to being positive. And finally, you've got to continually learn and grow. You want to invest monthly into your career growth and learning, whether it's books or podcasts or videos or training courses or coaching programs, whatever it is that helps you learn and grow, you want to continually do it and make it a habitual concept. I hope this has been useful for you. And as a thank you for attending this, for listening into this session, I would like to offer you a free, no strings attached, one-on-one career coaching with me. I'll be happy to book you in for a Skype session. During this session, you would get a clear, actionable plan to help you accelerate your career transition in 2016. This is a bonus worth £100 at least. I normally don't do individual sessions, but just for going through this video and getting this far, I'd like you to email me if you want to claim this offer at tolu@careertransitioners.com. All you've got to do is pop into the caption free one-on-one coaching from webinar. Drop me an email and I look forward to speaking to you. Now, let's talk about the Career Transitioners Coaching Program. If you want to join us and you want to achieve some career success in 2016, you can sign up to a career coaching program. That's 4 one-on-one Skype sessions. 4 one-on-one Skype sessions that would help you achieve career success in 2016. What do you get? Well, for the first session, you will ensure that you get a clear career goal, uncover some of the blockers that might be holding you back from clarifying what the career goal is. We'll get you a clear career goal, an actionable career transition plan, and an accountability partner within a safe group. So one of our coaches will handhold you through your career transition. Secondly, we'll ensure that you get a CV and cover letter guidance. Have a look at your CV, have a look at your cover letters, and give you tips on how to make it converting and getting you calls from hiring managers or recruiters. Would also teach you how to practically tap into the hidden job market in your industry. So we'll do some research after the first session, ensure that we know everything we need to know about your industry, and ensure that we're able to give you everything you need to tap into the hidden job markets in your industry. And would also look at your online presence and give you a blueprint to help you optimize your online presence. By the third session, we're going to give you an interview skills practice and feedback. We'll ensure that we have as many as 25 different questions that you're likely to get asked at an interview. Practice and get some feedback on your interview skills, which will help you supercharge your confidence so that you can ace any interview you go for. And then we'll look at a clear skills. We'll identify a clear list of skills that you need to get the job you want. This would enable you bridge your skills gaps and ensure that you get all you need to get the job you want. And finally, we'll ensure that you get a list of potential employers in your industry. You get a new high converting CV. You have newfound confidence because we would have done some interview skills coaching, and you will have a personalized job search strategy that will personally help you design. And we're not going to leave you by yourself. We will give you continual email and phone support throughout your transition till you get a new job. Again, you will get a list of potential employers in your industry, because one of the things I truly believe is one of the best ways to get the job you want is to go directly to the organization you want to work for. And we'll show you how you can get the hiring manager to talk to you about what you can offer them. So you get a list of potential employers in your industry, your chosen industry, a new high converting CV, a newfound confidence, personalized job search strategy, email and phone support right through your career transition. So, how much is this going to cost, you might add? Well, it would have cost £397, but today and today only, giving you a special discounted price of £298. All you have to do to get this offer is to go online right now, enter the link below into your browser, and get this offer. When you do that, I'll give you a free gift. The first gift I'll give you is a free personality report so that you can see what hiring managers and recruiters see. Plus, you get strategies on how to turn your weaknesses into strengths during an interview and on your CV. A full personality report that's specially designed for you, and it's going to give you a really good idea of your leadership style, of your ideal job environment. It'll in fact tell you the kind of questions you want to be asking at interviews. It'll tell you how you can overcome some of the challenging questions you might get asked based on the weaknesses shown up on your personality report. So that's the first gift I will get to give you. Free personality report, normally worth £49. You get this for free when you join our coaching program. We'll also give you a free LinkedIn review where a team of experts will review your LinkedIn page and help you brand yourself and tell you how to tell your unique story to get recruiters emailing you within days. There's nothing better than a powerful, high-converting LinkedIn profile to get recruiters knocking on your door, right? And finally, a free interview skills training course. This will be an e-learning program specially designed to help you get all the skills and all the tips that you need to ace any interview. This free interview skills training will help you supercharge your confidence and teach you practical strategies on how to ace any interview. This course itself is worth £200. It's worth £199 just to get this training course, but you get this absolutely free for up to 60 days when you sign up to our coaching program. I hope this and all of the offers that you've got available right now is giving you enough reason to sign up to a coaching program All you have to do is copy the link below into your browser and sign up to the webinar offer for the group for the coaching program. When you have done that, an alternative way to sign up, simply go onto our website and click on the coaching tab to get this offer. Once you've done that, we'll send you automatically a welcome pack from your coach with instructions on how to get started. We'll also send you a link to your coach's calendar, and this will enable you to select your first coaching session. So it's been a pleasure. I hope you take the time to sign up to our coaching program, and we'll look forward to welcoming you into a community, and we wish you career success in 2016. Thank you very much.